Oh, Wi-Fi, everybody hates you, everybody just wants you to be loads better than you are, and you're just not loads better than you are. Until today, that is. On this TechFlow video, you're going to learn how to make your Wi-Fi so much better really quickly. Right, so hey guys, my name is Alex and welcome to the show. We're going to look today at making your Wi-Fi better really simply and fairly inexpensively. Let's do this. So this is a conventional Wi-Fi router, whatever you want to call it. I'm in England, I'm going to say router. I'm just going to say that right now because I always get hammered in the comments for saying it wrong. English people say router. So this, in my country, is a router. This is what I recently took out of a client's house. This is a TP-Link standard router. The client was complaining about their weak Wi-Fi signal. No Wi-Fi in their bathroom. Why they wanted that, I have no idea. But they also had no Wi-Fi out in the conservatory. So I got rid of this. I'm not a big fan of TP-Link routers, so I replaced their router and then installed one of these. Now this is a Ubiquity Unifi Ac HD. Now if you look that up, you're going to think, Alex, I'm not going to buy one of these. This is really expensive. I'll get into that a little bit later because there's different versions of this, but they'll pretty much do the same thing, and some of them start out really cheap depending on your needs. But this is going to overhaul your Wi-Fi, and let me explain why whilst I'm unboxing this thing. So pretty much guys, any consumer router, access point, they're all just rubbish, and I don't understand why. That is just the common thing. They're all just really rubbish, but they're all also really easy to install and set up, which is, well, that's why they appeal to the wider audience. Even when I'm installing in a home environment, I will always use enterprise gear. But the reason people don't usually use enterprise gear is, well, there's two reasons. Usually it's really expensive, and the second reason, usually really hard to install. But here with Ubiquity, it's not hard to install because they've developed these so you can install them professionally with like a server, or you can just install them with an app, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that today for you people at home. And also, like I've said, this one, the HD unit, is really expensive. This one can have up to 500 clients connected to it. This is the top of the range access point from Ubiquity. But they also make one called the UAP AC Lite, which is much more suited for a home environment, but is still classed as an enterprise access point. So you've got that reliability. So the UAP AC Lite is what I'll be recommending for you guys, or maybe the LR if you've got a bigger house, that stands for longer range, or maybe the Pro if you've got a big house, maybe with 4 or 5 kids or something, and you want them all connected to the same access point. But this one, as I say, no need. This is just for the test, and it's the one I had lying around. This is the HD. It can support up to 500 clients. This is what you'd install in like a hospital environment or a stadium environment to take care of lots of people connecting at once. So let's get into the unboxing. So in the box we have our power cord, we have our PoE injector. Now this is another reason why I love these access points, and I'll explain what the PoE injector does in just a second. We have an instruction manual, which hopefully we don't need because I'm going to explain all of this in this video. And then we have some mounting hardware to mount this on the roof. Now I actually use Ubiquity products myself, and that's why I'm recommending them. I'm not sponsored by them, I use them because I love them, hence why we actually use a Ubiquity access point in the office, and it's literally right above me there doing its thing, serving all of the phones and laptops around the office. So, Alex, cut to the chase. Let's get this thing set up. Now, these are legitimately the best wireless access points money can buy, and I've tried lots and lots of access points, consumer stuff, prosumer stuff, enterprise stuff, and these, for the price, are the best. Do not argue with me because you will lose, and that is fact. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get the PoE injector right here and show you guys how to set this up. So you plug in the power cord right here. Honestly, just buy one, you will not regret it. Power cord goes in there and you'll see that the PoE light will come on, and then there's 2 Ethernet ports, as you can see on the side of this here. What I'm going to go ahead and do is plug in our connection from our router into the LAN side of the connection, and then you can see there's a PoE side. This is going to go from this to the access point, and that's going to supply this access point with the Ethernet cable as well as power. And again, a reason why I really like this Ubiquity system is the PoE injector, as I've said, because now all you do is you take an Ethernet cable from this PoE side, it goes straight to this, and you could run a 100-foot Ethernet cable if you liked, have this thing up in the loft, and this thing would have power and data through the single cable. Now while we wait for this thing to boot up, it's plugged in, you can see the light is going on there, looking absolutely wicked. That should be solid blue when this thing is set up. These things look really, really sleek, especially when they're mounted like that on the roof. While this is booting up, I'm going to explain something that really annoys me, and that's these £200 or $300 plus wireless routers that you see on the shelf, this consumer gear. What's the point in spending that? I think the UAP AC Lite or even the LR or Pro, for example, are all under like £150. I think the Lite comes in at like £60 or like $80, something ridiculous like that. So this is why this enterprise stuff is awesome. An enterprise access point for $60, $70 that you can set up on your smartphone? Just buy one. So I've gone ahead and downloaded the Unifi app on my phone, and I'm gonna launch it now, and pretty much it's gonna say nearby devices, as to which it's gonna find this access point. So I've gone ahead and downloaded the Unifi app, and as you can see here, it says discovering devices. So we're going to wait for the access point to come in this list, and if it doesn't, well, we're going to click the add button in the top corner, and then there should be a little QR code on the back of our device here, as to which we're now going to scan it. And there we go, the access point has come up in the nearby devices list, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is click on it, and then I'm going to go in the top corner and click configure. And I'm going to click configure as standalone. As you can see here, it says adopt a cloud controller. Yes, you can adopt these things to a cloud controller, which is what you would do in an enterprise environment if you had multiple access points dotted around your house or office, and then devices could roam between the two. But what I'm trying to do here is show you that this enterprise stuff can be easily set up and is affordable for you guys at home. So I'm going to click configure as standalone. And then all I'm going to do is put a username and password in here just to protect this thing. And for that, I'm just going to use admin and TechFlow. So straight away here, guys, it's saying we should upgrade the firmware, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and click to do that.
Later. In the void.
So there we go, guys, a couple of minutes later, firmware all upgraded. It's always good to make sure you're on the latest firmware, because Ubiquity always push firmware out to these devices to make sure all the bugs and stuff are all ironed out, and if there's any security issues, they're all sorted out too. So now we're back in the app. I've clicked configure as standalone, and now I'm going to click on WLANs right here, and this is going to say 2.4 and 5 gigahertz radios, and we can go ahead and put our SSID and password in for both of these. So you can either have them as the same SSID, which means that the AP will decide what device to put the channel on. So either my phone connects to it, either will connect it to the 2.4 or the 5, and it will push it more towards 5 gigahertz. But if you're out of range of the 5 gigahertz, you'll connect to the 2.4. The Ubiquity devices are really good at doing that, so it's really awesome to know that that is a feature that it has. But then it's also cool to know that if you want your 2.4 and 5 gig networks separated, like I do, just because I'm a control freak and I like to be in control of what my devices are connecting to, you can do them separate. So for the 2.4, I'm just going to put TF2 for TechFlow 2, and then for the 5 gigahertz, I'll just put TF5. Then I'm going to leave the default security keys for both of these. As you can see, it's UBNT, 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 but you can customize that as you would like. Now I'm going to go back to the configuration, and now I'm going to click on radios, and this is where you can actually go in and dial a little bit of the more expert settings to the network. Now I'm going to give you guys some general parameters here. So on the 2 gig network, on the 2G network, click on channel. You either want it on 1, 6, or 11. Don't use any of the other channels. Use either 1, 6, or 11. I'm going to use channel 6 here. And for the bandwidth on the 2 gig, you need to have 20 megahertz, and then put the transmit power on high. We don't want auto, we want to be in control. For 5 gigahertz, what I would do is put the bandwidth up to 80 megahertz. That's going to give you the best speeds on the 5 gigahertz channel width. And then for the channel here, I'm going to use 36, 40, 44, or 48. I'll stay away from the DFS ones. Just use these ones. I'm sure you guys will be absolutely fine. I'm going to choose 48, and then again, transmit power on high. And then you click save. We are all good to go. The access point will reboot, and then that is it. And as you can see, the access point has gone blue. Looks absolutely awesome. Now you can go ahead and mount this thing up, run hundreds of feet of Ethernet cable to the access point, put it where you want, and best of all, this is an enterprise access point. It's going to literally have 100% uptime, and you've just configured it right here on your phone. I'm just going to connect to this and do a quick speed test to see if it saturates the whole network. I don't even know why I'm doing this because it just will. Right, I get about 45 meg into the office, up and down, symmetrical leased line broadband. So hopefully when I do this speed test, it should jump straight up to about 45, 50 megabits a second. Let's do this, and bang, there you go, 43 meg. Proof's in the pudding. If you have a faster internet connection than 40 meg, you're probably thinking, Alex, yeah, my original router got 40 meg and I've got like 200 meg coming in. Well, fear not, I'll do another little test just to prove that the connection between this phone and the access point is mentally fast, using an app called Wi-Fi Sweet Spots on my iPhone. If I just click Start on the Wi-Fi Sweet Spots app, you can see the connection between my phone and this access point right now is 680 megabits a second. So as long as your internet isn't faster than that, which is going to be hard to beat, yeah, you'll saturate this access point absolutely fine. Now guys, that is going to be my video on Wi-Fi. Please don't ask me how to upgrade your Wi-Fi anymore. Buy one of these, but also, if you are on a really tight budget and you want faster internet and you can't even afford the AC Lite, which I've said is about 60, 70 pounds, we'll put all the links in the description for you lot. Let us know in the comments with a like or something as well if you want us to do a free internet upgrades thing. Little tips you can do around your network to just, you know, give it a little boost. But for now, mine has been Alex, this has been TechFlow, subscribe if you're new, we'll see you in the next one. Da 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 da. I don't know what I'm doing your outro yet.